We're good? I think we're good. Yeah, I think we're good. Hello, welcome to EASQuaranTap. Sorry, trying to make sure the connection was on. My name is Eric and today is another beginner tap class. For those of you who are brand new and for those of you who are returning and continuing to take classes so far. So, this class is going to be a little different than my other ones. I'm going to be doing usually the same exercises that I had done previously, but I'm going to kind of add to them or make them a little bit different this time. So that includes our warm-up, which is going to be different, yeah? For those of you who are brand new into this, just so to elaborate, you do not need tapsters for this. You can do this in your bare feet, or you can do it in your socks, as long as you can feel the floor and know what you are doing. Now, for those of you who are very basic beginner, after this video, if you would like, check out my very first video, Beginner Tap 1, and that's where I break down a lot of the simple steps in depth in case you need a little additional help. But other than that, you should be good. For those of you returning, I'm going to try and make sure that I have something that pushes you a little more, challenges you a little more. Yeah, I want to make sure that I cater to those who have been continuing to take classes with me so far and to those who are still brand new. So bear with me as I try to keep everyone accommodated with these videos. Cool? So with the warm-up that we're going to start today, it's going to be the same as usual. We're going to roll angle to the right. Yeah, roll angle to the left. Roll to the left, roll to the right, shake them out. So now, here's what's going to be a little different. We're going to combine two separate exercises into one, essentially, right? We've always done, where we will just tap our ankle, tap our foot 8 times, right? We're gonna have slow ones. 8 slow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. After that, when we go to the right, we're no longer just gonna tap 8 times. We're gonna use it. I can't speak today, I'm sorry. We're gonna go tap, heel, 2, 3, 4, and then go to the back. Does that make sense? So we're kind of combining two different things. This is gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to the 1, 2, 3, heel, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? Then we're gonna go to the back, same deal, just tapping for 8 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then when we go to the side again, same deal as we did before. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this time when we do it the second time, we're only going to do 3 little sets. On the fourth one, 1, 2, 3, 4 is going to be ball, heel, another count to go to the left. Does that make sense? So we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, then 1. Yeah, sorry, there's no extra count. So yeah, you have 7, 8. Then we start with the left foot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then ball, heel, ball, heel, ball, heel, ball, heel. To the back. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Side ball, heel, ball, heel, ball, heel, ball, heel. Kind of makes sense? Cool. So again, 8 taps to the front, ball, heel 4 times. And 8 to the back, ball, heel 3 times, ball, heel to finish, to go on the left. 8 to the front, ball, heel on the left side. 8 to the back, 8 taps in the back, ball, heel 3 times, then ball, heel again to finish the warm-up. Now, we're just kind of a part 1. Part 2 I'll explain later, but just be aware that we're going to do this first set, then I'm going to stop music, and then we're going to do something else to kind of help warm up our ankles a little bit, yeah? Basically, it will just be going on that slow 8 again, and then trying to go a little more double time. But I'll explain that later so that we're kind of following each other's steps. Kind of, sort of? Cool. So let's go ahead and get started. What song was I going to use? I don't remember. Now I did, because I wrote it down. This is why I wrote it down. I hope you like this song, and you know it. Here we go. First one, our ankles out. Hold on.
I'm at a party, I don't wanna be at. Another level, I'm tired. Wondering if I can sneak out the back. Nobody even looking in my eye. Can you take my hand and finish my drink? Say, shall we? Let's do it. You know I love you, did I ever tell you? You make it better.
Alright, remember we're going to start 8 sides, 8 sides together. Ready? 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, and 1. Four, easy, right? If you had a hard time with that, go ahead and rewind this video and try that again. Yeah, but if we're moving on, now the next thing we're going to do to help us warm up, just to the front, we're not going to move our foot to the side. We're essentially going to go do that same downbeat 8 times, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, just to add a little bit of a challenge, yeah, for those of you who want the challenge, we're going to go double time on that beat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Kind of sort of makes sense, yeah? On this last one, 5, 6, 7, 8. That kind of makes sense? So one more time. This next round, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, double time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then 1, 2. Kind of sort of makes sense? If it's a little bit of a challenge, no worries. I want to make sure that this video has something different, has some kind of different push for you. But in any case, let this be a bit of a challenge to try to tap a little faster. Does that make sense? Now, for those of you who want to just keep it slow, it's totally up to you. You can keep the same rhythm if you like. Yeah? But for those who want to do the challenge, that's what we're going to do. So one more time. 8 on to the right. Then we're going to double time it. 5, 6, 7, 8. Then left. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Double time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah? And we're going to do it again to the right. We're going to do this 4 times. Right, left, right, left. Real quick, simple warm up, just something just to kind of give a little push, yeah? Let's give it a shot, see how it goes.
The bad nights,
same beat.
with my baby,
5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Double time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Double. 5, 6, 7. Again. Right. Double time. And 5, 6, 7, 8. Left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. Double time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Cool? How'd you do? I'm sure you did fantastic. But hopefully that gives you a little bit of a challenge or something to work on with this video if you had a bit of a hard time. But I wanted to give you something to push you a little bit, a little extra challenge. All right, next exercise. So, was it really 2? Yeah, okay. So we're gonna do, I don't know how many times I've done this in class, but we're gonna work on a riff again, the 4-beat riff, right? And just to re-clarify and to explain it again, most riffs have a lot of different variations to it. We're gonna learn the very basic one, which has 4 steps, right? I'm gonna turn to the side so you can see. Basically, with your right foot, you're gonna kind of stuff the ball of your foot, and it's gonna brush through, right? That's 1. Your 2 is gonna be the actual heel of your foot digging into the floor as you're progressing, right? So you have 1, 2. And what happens is your foot's gonna pick up so that your heel can hit the floor. So you have 1, 2. From there, your last 2 is gonna be heel, ball when you finish. Heel, ball. Now, if you remember from last time, it's kind of like walking, except you're isolating the steps between walking, right? So you have 1, 2, 3, 4. Now with your left side, same deal. You're gonna scuff with the ball, then you're going to scuff again with your heel, scuff with the heel, then land on your heel, then again onto your ball. Yeah, one more time. So you have ball, scuff, heel, ball. Well, again, scuff, scuff again, heel, ball. Now, you may want to back up a little bit so you have space to come forward. I'm going to try and do it in place as much as I can. I only have so much space, and I'm sure your space varies differently. But essentially, this exercise will actually have you move forward. You can do it in place, but if you're just learning this, then give yourself some space to go ahead and move forward, yeah? So try with me really slowly. We're going to do just the right foot, then go on the left foot, then right and left. We'll just kind of continue until we kind of get the feel of it, yeah? So from the back with your right foot, 5, 6, 7, let's go for the ball. Ball, scuff, heel, ball. Ball, scuff, heel, again, ball, scuff, heel, ball, ball, scuff, heel, ball. Kind of sort of makes sense? Really easy. It's just a basic, and like I said, it's called a riff. Now, I'm trying to think of how to, like I said, it should feel like you're kind of walking a little bit because you're essentially still moving forward, right? Now, if you're on top like me, you may, within the divots, get a little caught. But on if you're bare feet, just get the idea that you are creating a sound while it's brushing through the floor, right? This may, kind of slur a little bit, but that's okay. The point of this exercise is to be able to isolate between the ball and your heel, working the arches of your feet to be able to isolate those sounds. If at first you're kind of slurring, that's okay. It takes a little bit to get used to your own feet and be able to scuff like that. It can be a little tricky. But the idea, remember, is 4 sounds, yeah? So let's try it again with that music, and we're going to try with music. 5, 6, right foot is first. Ball, scuff, heel, ball. Ball, scuff, heel, ball. Ball, scuff, heel, ball. Ball, scuff, heel, ball. And if it helps you too, try just to get the idea of it, because when you normally do it quicker, right, it's going to be one fluid motion. When you bring down the ball, try to just scoot it a little bit so that you can still scuff, because normally you're not actually stopping and then scuffing. It will be one continuous motion. Does that make sense? So kind of still push a little bit, scuff, ball, heel, ball, scuff, heel, ball. Kind of make sense? So we're going to try with music. Let's see. And we're just going to essentially just keep doing it until we get the idea. We might do it twice through so we get the feel of it, yeah? Let's give it a shot. Now, for those of you in sneakers, you may be squeaking a little bit, which is fine, as long as you get the idea of it, yeah? But this may be easier in socks, so you can slide through your feet and get an idea of what it feels like. Like I said, you don't really need shoes, tap shoes to get an understanding what's happening. As long as you feel the floor and start to understand, the difference between the ball of your foot and the heel of your foot, you can still learn this. You'll be good. All right, here we go. So listen to the downbeat, and that's what we're going to go off, yeah? So you hear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That makes sense? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, here we go. 5, 6, 7, 8. Ball, scuff, heel, 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 ball, scuff, heel. One more time. Ball, scuff, heel, ball, scuff, heel, ball. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Cool, right? Pretty simple, pretty easy, not too bad, right? Remember, like I said, you want to keep moving forward with it, but eventually as you get better at it, it'll become less of a slur and more of isolated. Eventually, as we continue, when classes continue, I'll be able to teach you the 5 sounds, yeah? And we can progress from there, but I first want to show you the 4 so you can work on it at home and then eventually progress to that, yeah? Also, a lot of choreography sometimes may involve rips in some way or even having a heel first, so this is a good basic step to learn and progress forward, yeah? Let us move on. So, I haven't done this in a while either. Back to rolling shuffles, yeah? We're going to do 2 different parts of this exercise to help you understand rolling shuffles and to give you an exercise that you can work on to progress getting faster at this, right? So the first part, what we've done before is we would shuffle on one side and then shuffle the other side, right? We would do 8, 8, 4, 4, 2, 2. This time, we're just going to do 1 and alternate between feet. This first part of the exercise, we're going to start with the shuffle. Yeah, the second one will start differently, but let's focus on the first one for now. So all you're going to do is you're going to shuffle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah? Now, just to reiterate about shuffles, it's mostly from your ankle, right? Your knee does have to swing, but make sure that it doesn't necessarily come from swinging the knee, that your ankle is doing the work, right? If I didn't swing my knee at all, my foot's doing this, right? And of course, you turn your knee out, not a lot, but just a little bit to get an idea. You're gonna kind of, just to give you a heads up, when you do shuffles, you're gonna kind of shuffle sideways, because really our hips cannot point that direction and do this fast and comfortably. Does that make sense? So you want to get the idea of kind of going sideways, but not really, but also trying to point forward, right? So make sure that this is coming from your ankles, not from swinging the knee a lot. Because, the more energy you use, the harder it's going to be to go faster, which is the point of this exercise. So we're going to try with this first part with music first. Then I'll explain the second part. We're going to try that again with music. So the first part, like I said, starts with the shuffle. That's going to be a 1. 1, 2, 3. You're going to stand on the ball of your foot, and then you're going to come to the left side. Shuffle, ball. Now, if you would like to stand on the balls of your feet for this, go for it. If you want to, if you're kind of new to this and it's a little difficult to stand on the balls of your feet, go ahead and land flat foot. That's perfectly fine for now. As long as both the ball and the heel of your foot land at the same time, so you don't get two sounds. You want to still get one sound out of it. So you have shuffle, ball, shuffle, ball. Let me count it so it's actually on counts. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, because we're going in threes, it's going to seem weird, but what I want you to keep in mind is to keep the downbeat, and the idea is to get used to going from your right foot to your left foot, because you're transferring your weight, right? So this is to help you get used to it. One more time. 5, 6, 7, right side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we're just going to keep doing this, yeah? We're going to try this with music, so you'll have some material to work on it with me. Try to get the rhythm. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's kind of what we've been doing, yeah? We're going to try this part of the music, then stop, and then I'm going to explain what the next part of it is, yeah? Let's just do this first part a try. It's not that far, there it is. Alright, ready? This is the downbeat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah? Kind of make sense? Try to do this shuffle. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, 3, 4. Shuffle, yes, shuffle. It's a cool alternate version of the song. Kind of sort of makes sense. So now that we've done slow, this next part we're going to work on trying to get a little quicker with it, yeah? So what that means, sometimes when you do these rolling shuffles, you can start with a shuffle. But sometimes you can starting with the actual step, right? We know what the steps of rolling shuffles basically shuffles, and then you're stepping, which alters your foot. Now this time, we're going to kind of start the opposite way, right? We're going to start with the step and then shuffle. Now, it's going to feel weird, trust me, but when you go faster, this is kind of going to help you mentally and subconsciously start on the 1, right? Because shuffles and flaps they kind of go on the end count sometimes, so using this step is going to help you get on the 1, so you have 1 and 2 and so if I was to do this exercise slowly with counts, hopefully this will make sense. So when we do this again with music, the counts are going to be 5, 6, 7, 8, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. You kind of get the idea? Your step now, since you started first with your step, is now your downbeat. And that's going to help you to stay on the rhythm while you're manipulating, while you're hitting the end counts with each side. Does that make sense? So, same music, same beat, but now we're going to kind of go into the rhythm, if that makes sense. So we have 6, 7, 8. 1 and 2, 3, 5. Right? Essentially, it's going to continue, and the idea is that your body's going to continue to move, but you're starting on 1, right? Let me see if I try to count that. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1 and 2 and 2 and 1, 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. I'm in love with the shape of 1 and 2 and So it's going to sound weird, but try and keep that count within your head, and I promise you it's going to match the music. Does that make sense? So what we can do is try that again without music. Then we're going to play the music. I'm going to do it really quick so you kind of see what it looks like, and then we're going to try the music together, and I will have the volume low enough so you can hear me, and also you can see what's happening. So without music, 5, 6, start on the 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7, 8. Kind of, sort of. Like I said, we're gonna just keep doing that until for a good sum amount. I'm gonna play with the music. I'm gonna do it with, really quick so you can see what happens. Then we'll do it all together. Yeah. I'm trying to think of anything else. No, like I said, weight transfer is good. At this point, since we're going a little bit faster, I kind of encourage you to be on the ball of your foot for this, because it's just going to make it easier. If you're kind of planted, you know, it's going to be harder to isolate the ball of your foot, because really with this, you're just working the ball of your feet, right? So you don't want your heels to get involved. Otherwise, you may create an extra sound that would probably throw you off. So try and be on the ball of your feet for this, which again, if you've been following me so far, or for those of you who are brand new, keep your knees bent. Not too much. You don't want to keep them straight, but just comfortable enough to where you're on the balls of your feet and you can transfer your weight in between, yeah? Like I said, this is a bit of a challenge for you, no worries. You can always rewind it and try it again, and I have other classes to try as well. But I'm hoping this is at least something new for you to learn, something to kind of push you, and for those who have been following so far, I hope that this is eventually something that can push your skills. So let's watch the music and then we're going to try it together real quick. This is going to look like 5, 6, 7, 8, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 kind of start. Like I said, it's good off your wood because you're going in threes on a 4-4 time. Does that make sense? So you're going to finish. You're going to start on 1 and probably end on a 7 at some point. But as long as you keep the 1 and 2 and 3 and you're doing waltz time within 4-4, so it's going to feel wood. But I promise you, it fits and it makes sense, yeah? But again, take this exercise and use it with your own music that may work for you. But if you want to do it to a waltz, that may work too. But I want to do this so that it also challenges your musical timing. Because like I said, you're learning to be a tapper in my class, but also to be a musician in a sense. So let's give it a shot. All together. 5, 6, 7, 8, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 1. Right? 2, 3, 4, 5. Kind of sort of? It's where you'll start on 1, but kind of be wonky, but then eventually in the phrase, it will land back to 1 again, yeah? Like I said, try it with your own music or rewind this and try it again. But I made it so that it's not too easy, where the step is basic, but musically you gotta also challenge your ear too. Does that make sense? Cool. Last thing we're gonna do with the time we have, we're gonna go over time steps that I think I've only done it once with you this time. So for my musical theater friends, this is really big because this step is used a lot in the theater world, and there's many variations to it. I'm gonna go back again with the very basic one. And maybe eventually as we continue on, I'll teach you the other kinds. But just starting off with the basic for now. If you already know this, you're ahead of us. And at this point for you, it's just extra practice, which repetition is good. But for brand new, this is how it's going to go. There's kind of 4 or I think 5-ish steps to this, right? First part is, now we're going to do this without music, so we're going to understand the timing. First part is you're going to stomp, right? Stomp. Stomping is usually just both the ball and the heel at the same time. Yeah, so you're going to go stomp. And you're going to hop on your left foot, hop. So the first 2 steps is stomp, hop. Now when you hop onto this foot, your right foot is going to travel behind you, yeah? So essentially you're going to go 1, hop, bring the foot behind you, then you're going to land this foot behind you next 3, yeah? So the first 3 steps, stomp, hop, step. Now if you are not comfortable being on the ball of your foot for this exercise, you can do this flat foot. It's preferred to be on the ball of your foot though because of the amount of times your weight is being transferred to move. So just keep in mind that this is essentially on the ball of your foot when you are hop. Again, 3 steps. You have stomp, hop, bring the right foot back, then step behind you because you're going to travel forward again. Yeah? So stomp, hop, step. Now, from here, we're going to do full lap, ball change. Yeah? Full lap, ball change. Now, if you need a little bit of help with full laps, but I think my beginner tap class 1 of it, and I think to kind of break down the flap step, but really quick, I can just say 2 steps, right? And just a reminder for those who already know, 2 steps, you are using your ankle and you're just traveling forward, yeah? You're going to stop the floor on your way through and then finish it, yeah? So with this step, you did 1, hop, back. From here, you're going to do a flap. Once you land here, full full lap. Now from here, you're gonna do a ball change. For those of you who don't know, ball change essentially just means you're gonna transfer your weight from back to the front, yeah? And that's also staying on the ball of your feet. Basically, you're changing the ball on your feet weight transfer. Yeah, anyway, so we just did from the top, really slow. Stomp, hop, step. Now for lap from here, full lap, ball change. Your ball change is gonna come from left to the right. Coming forward, yeah? Sorry, I can't talk there, I don't know why. So you have again, stomp, hop, step. From here, full lap to the front, full lap. Ball change with the right, ball change with the left. I'm gonna face this side, or this side, so you can kind of see what's going on if I'm facing sideways. Same deal, do it with me, how you wanna face, but I'm gonna face sides to see what's happening. So you have stomp, hop, step, full lap, ball, change. You're gonna feel yourself moving forward a bit because that's kind of the natural vibe of the step. But you'll be able to do this in place because the next step will kind of help you finish. Now actually, technically we've done the whole thing, but the last part of it is what's gonna link the whole thing together. So one more time, you did stomp, hop, step, full lap again, full lap, ball. Now when you change, this ball change, right, ball change, that last ball change is gonna be on the flat of your foot. Why? Because this is also the stomp from the beginning of the step. Does that make sense? Yeah? So this time step is kind of always going onto the one downbeat, but it finishes kind of early and still comes into the downbeat. So we have stomp, hop, step, full lap, ball, one. Does that make sense? Then guess what we do from here? From here, this is one, then hop on your right foot. Two, put that foot behind you. Three, full lap with your right foot this time. Full lap. Now ball change again. Ball, stomp. Does that make sense? So this time it's a ball change, but kind of ball stomp technically because that stomp is your one. If we count this out, you have stomp, hop, step. Full lap, ball, 1, 2, 3. Full lap, ball, stomp, hop, 3. Full lap, ball, stomp, 2, 3. Full lap, ball, change. Kind of sort of makes sense? And let's try it again slowly. Remember, we're alternating feet, and after, think of it this way, after the full lap, you're going to ball change, but also get ready to do the next side, right? Ball change, you're going to alternate sides. Step, full lap, ball change, sides, step. Kind of start off, let's try slowly, see how it goes. 5, 6, nice and easy. And stop, hop, step, full lap, ball, stomp, hop, step, full lap, ball, stomp, hop, step, full lap, ball, stomp, hop, step, full lap, ball. Now if you notice, I am kind of exaggerating, picking on my feet to bring it behind you, but that's just so you can see it from the camera's point of view. What you want to keep in mind with this is you kind of want to try and move as little as possible. Reason why, because the less you move, the faster you can become, the less space you're taking to increase your speed, yeah? So initially, once you get used to it, because what may happen is when you bring your foot around, you may hit yourself with your heel or hit your shoe. To get used to it, go ahead and just take a bigger, I guess, graceful step out of it, right? But eventually, you're going to want to just stop just behind you, yeah? Without even bending my knee, stomp, hop, and just bring it right behind you. Because when you go faster, you don't have time to pick up your knee and bring it back behind you. You have one count. Does that make sense? So you have stomp, hop, step. So for first, if you need to pick up that foot, pick up the foot. But just know and be aware that as you get faster, you'll need to use less space with your body from what you're doing with this exercise. Stomp, little step. Does that make sense? You barely saw it because traditionally you're kind of, you know what I'm saying? So you can't take so much with your legs. Well, like I said, do what you need to learn it, but understand that the end goal is to not move so much. Let's try it just slow, then we do it a tad bit faster so you kind of get the idea of what the rhythm sounds like. The reason why I'm not doing with music is because there's a certain rhythm to it, and it's a little tricky to put with music. So I want to make sure that you guys understand what it sounds like. There is music that you can put it to, but usually you go pretty fast. But we're going slow, yeah? 5, 6, start with the stomp. Here we go. Stomp, hop, step. Full lap, ball, 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 change. Kind of sort of make sense? Now just for the fun of it, we're going to try and go a little faster, yeah? Step, go back, ball change, hop, step, go back, ball change, hop, that's it. Sorry, I was like trying to clear my throat and talk at the same time. Doesn't work. 5, here we go. 6, let's give it a shot. 5, 6, 7, 8. Stomp, hop, step, go back, ball change, 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 hop again, go back, ball change, hop, step, go back, one time, hop, step, go back, ball change, hop, step, go back, that's fine. Kind of started off good. I'm sure you did fantastic. Eventually, you just learn how to time step, which if you are someone who does theater for a career, you're gonna find this step a lot. And I hope this will help you in case you go to audition and they just want to see you do a time step. You can do a time step. You can basically learn choreography for a show. Yeah. So that is time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you, Sam. Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Jessica. And hey, Kinsey, what's going on? So thank you guys for watching. If you just came in, don't worry. This video is gonna be on my Facebook page, Eric EASQuaranTap. You can rewind this video and try these exercises at home. And I hope that at least, if you are not new to this, it brings you a challenge. And if you are brand new, then it at least enlightens you to check out my other videos that have these basic steps more broken down. If you're new, just look for all my beginner tap classes, and I've tried to numerically order them so that it makes sense. But essentially, yeah, thank you guys so much. Appreciate it. Oh, be sure to like and hit the follow button so that you stay up to date with what's going on my page. And for those of you who are going to keep taking next intermediate tap class this Thursday, I think I'm doing it to, well, I want to say, yeah, I'm still deciding, so I'll let you know. But yeah, stay safe, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much.